In our previous video, we installed qBittorrent to download anything you like, any torrents. Today, we're going to be installing Radarr, so that way we can automatically search for the movies we want to help build your library. To do this, open Docker Desktop. Once you're on it, search for Radarr. So just search Radarr. And we're going to run the latest version of the Linux server /Radarr. So just click run. This will download the image and automatically bring it up. Perfect. Once that's done, the above will appear. Let's click optional settings. Let's call this Radarr. For the port, we just put the same port as on that's written on the side, which is 7878. If you do have a container with 7878, you would need to change this number here or just stop that container. Now, for the volumes, it's going to be slightly different than what we did for qBittorrent, so let's just go through this a little bit slowly. So firstly, create a new folder for Radarr. So let's just call this Radarr. Let's put everything together so we can see what they are. Now in our Radarr folder, let's create a config file. Now that's all we would need to do for the config file for Radarr in its individual folder. What I'm doing here for the configs, you do not need to do in separate folders. You can also put it all in one or link it up to a volume through Docker Desktop. Once you're done, close the window and let's just put that here in the host path. So we're still in qBittorrent, so let's just get out of that. Let's open Radarr and config. Now for the config file, we're going to link this to config. That's just where our settings for Radarr will lie. So if you uninstall the container, reinstall it, assuming you still have that folder, you'll have the same settings. Now we need to create our download folder. So let us open qBittorrent. So in our qBittorrent, we will have a downloads file, which is the completed folder that we created. Let's just create a new folder and let's call this one Radarr. So the reason why we're going to create a folder called Radarr in our completed folder, once we set up Radarr and Sonarr, it's going to automatically create that folder for you. So we're just doing it just a little bit easier by creating it ourselves, and it will separate what we are downloading. So in our downloads folder in qBittorrent, when we're downloading movies, it'll go to the Radarr folder. If you're downloading series, it would go to the Sonarr folder. Simply, in our qBittorrent from our previous video, in the completed folder, create a new folder called Radarr. You can close that, and we can link it up over here. So get out of Radarr, now go to qBittorrent, completed, Radarr. We'll select that, and that is where our downloads folder would go. Now that's all you would need to download the movies. So the next volumes are what we're going to link to is once it's completed, where are we going to send it? So let's create a new one. In our host path, let's get out of qBittorrent as well, because we want to put it inside Jellyfin. If you're using Plex, that's fine. We have a media folder here. Let's click media, click movies. Because these are movies, you can put it here. If you're segregating it and you're putting anime movies and normal movies, and you have two separate folders in Jellyfin or Plex, you can create both of them. So we can select that. And for here, we'll just call this one movies. As mentioned, if you are going to do like an anime, if you have an anime folder here, for example, you can just call this one anime movies. That is something you can do as well if you are segregating your movies and your anime movies. So I don't have this, so I'm just going to delete all of that. I just have our movies folder. Once you're done here, just click run. This may take a minute to go through the process. Once it's completed, I'll come back to you. Once you see the below and it says done, you're ready to go. Click the above here to go to localhost 7878, or you can just type in your browser localhost 7878 and you will see the above. So once you're here, we just need to create a little logon. So for authentication method, let's just do forms login page. Username, let's just do Radarr. And password, Radarr. Just a simple one you can remember. And click save. And that's it. We have Radarr created on Docker Desktop. We do have a few settings we do need to change to make it more efficient. So to adjust the settings, just click the Settings tab on the left, and let's go through these details. Let's go to Media Management first, which is your top one here. Now in the Media Management, click Rename Movies. This will rename the movie files once it's downloaded, so you can have clean movie files. At this present moment, this is the standard movie format. You can click the question mark to change what it is. So we have the movie, and the year. I don't care about the quality, so I can just remove that. So we just delete that. Now we're just going to get the title of the movie title, 2010. Once that's done, click Unmonitor Deleted Movies. So if you delete movies from Jellyfin, it's not going to automatically re-download it. We just want to unmonitor it if we delete it. Now we need to add root folders. So click the below link and click the movies folder we created. Because this is linked to that movies folder in Jellyfin, you'll see all the movies you already have, and click OK. So this movies folder, this is what we linked up to our Jellyfin folder, which you can see here. Our movies folder, which is linked to the media folder inside Jellyfin. If you created a separate folder for anime, you can do that here as well. You can just click Add Root Folder as well, search for anime movies, like we did as an example previously, and click OK. Once you're done, click Save Changes. Now click Profiles. This will show you all the profiles that it's going to download. It's up to you how you want to set it up. Personally, I use just a HD, and sometimes I use any. So when you're selecting the movie to download, you can select any profile you want, and it will download it in that file. There are a few important settings to do, so I'll show you those quickly now. So let's go through the HD one, and then you can do the same for any of the other ones you'd like. So in the HD, what we're going to do is select Upgrade Allowed. What this means is it will download the first one available, which could be the 720p, but if a better quality comes out, it will automatically download the better quality. Once selected, select what you want to upgrade till. So we want to upgrade this to Blu-ray 1080p. Remux would be uncompressed. The file size may be quite large. I'm happy with a compressed file. So just click Blu-ray. You can do what you'd like. Keep the original language, or you can select English. In the qualities, you can select what you want to download. Because we've already selected the profile of 720 1080, it's going to automatically select the 1080 and 720. You can, just select web 4K, so on and so forth. Or you can go down to our cam recording. Once you've done that, click Save. Once it's blue, you would know that it's going to download anything from HD TV 720p up to 1080, and it'll stop once it reaches your 1080p. That can be done on all of these. Once completed, you don't need to save it. There is no save button. Just click the Quality tab. In the Quality tab, you'll see the quality of the video and the file size of it. Here you can adjust the file size so it doesn't download files that are way too large. So for example, we're doing Blu-ray 1080p is our one we're going to do a lot of. We don't want unlimited. I've had that before and it's downloaded a 40 gig file. I'd rather save a little bit of hard drive space. So what you can do is just reduce it down to the maximum that you would like. So let's say maximum being 10 gigs, potentially. And then there is a middle scroller where you can adjust the preferred size right here. If you want to get around the 5 gig file size, but maximum will goes 10. You can do this for any ones you'd like to adjust the quality. If you have unlimited space, by all means keep it unlimited and you'll get the best quality. If you do a mistake, you can always reset it, but once you're done, click Save. In the custom formats, you can leave that blank. In the indexes, we can leave that blank as well. This is something we will need to add, but we're going to be installing Prowlarr to do this for us, and it'll automate the whole process. Let's go to Download Clients. Now, Download Clients is what Radarr is going to use to download the movies. So what we've done previously on the previous video is install qBittorrent. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So to do this, click the plus, and let's just go down to qBittorrent, which is over here. So in qBittorrent, we'll leave the name as qBittorrent. We'll enable it. you'll have your host and your port. In the username and password, what you're going to put here is the username and password for qBittorrent. And as I just did the username and password qBittorrent, we can just leave it like that. The category would be the folder it's going to create when it's downloading the files. This will cause issues if we leave it just as Radarr. Reason being is if you look at the qBittorrent folder that we created in our completed, we use a capital R. I've had this issue before. It will cause issues and won't transfer the files correctly. So if you created the Radarr folder in the completed with a capital letter, do the same thing here. So just change the Radarr to capital R. Now scroll down to the bottom. Now initial state will force start, so that way we can force the start. That's done, that's all we need to do. So what we do now is click test just to test the connection. And now we're having issues here. So the reason why you'll have an issue, one of the main ones could be username and password, or as you can see here, we're unable to connect to localhost. So what we need to do here is actually write your IP address instead of localhost. Easiest way to find your IP address, if you don't know what it is to open up command prompt. You can do this by pressing the window and the R key to open the run window, and then just type CMD to open command prompt and press OK. You'll see the following window. It's not scary. We're just going to write one word, press enter, and we'll have our IP address. So all you need to do is write ipconfig, ipconfig, press enter, and there you go. There's your IP address. So what we're going to do is scroll down, look at the bottom one, IPv4 address. That is the IP address we're going to use. So we can just highlight that and copy it, and we'll paste that in the host section here. Once you've done that, click test. Once the tick is there, that means Radarr is linked up to qBittorrent and you'll have no issues with the connection. Once that's done, you can double check again, click the test. If it's a tick, click save. Now you can close the command screen. Remote paths are very rarely required, but let's just do that just to get it out of the way. So for the host, just a drop down will appear when you click it. It will be the IP address of the system. For the remote path, that is going to be our downloads and capital R for Radarr for that folder that we created inside qBittorrent. In the local path, you can click the browse and just click downloads. So that's the downloads linked up to the downloads folder, the folder we created inside the completed section in qBittorrent. If this is complicated, just follow my steps. If you're following it correctly, it will work. Once you're done, click save. The settings should save automatically, so you don't have to click anything. It'll state no changes. Now, in regards to the below options, import list, we can leave empty. Connect, we can leave empty. Metadata, we can leave that blank as well. Tagging, you can leave blank as well. In the general tab, there is nothing you need to do here. You can change your username and password. Your API key will be here as well. We will need this at a later date. I will go through that at a later date. In regards to analytics, you can select or deselect this to send anonymous usage and error information to Radarr servers. And then UI section, you can just leave this as is. We don't have to change anything here. So now that we've successfully installed Radarr and the settings have been updated to work perfectly, it is still not going to work now because we do need one other system to go. So firstly, we installed qBittorrent. Now we installed Radarr. In the next video, we're going to install Prowlarr. This will be the index section, which we skipped here, and it'll bring it all together. Before we do that, I'm going to show you a few screens in Radarr and how to use it. So simply, in the movie sections, it'll show all the movies you have, whether they're released or not released. If you want to add a new one, you can click Add New, and you can search for the movie. Alternatively, if you want to see what's just around, you can click Discover, and you'll see some movies here. To download the movie, you just select the movie you want, so The Bride. It's going to download it in the movies folder called The Bride 2026. We can monitor the movie only, but for example, if you're doing Avatar, if you monitor the movie only, it's going to install Avatar Fire and Ash. If you select Movie and Collection, it's going to install every single Avatar movie that's out there. first one, the water one, the fire one. And minimum availability, we want release once it's released so it's in better quality. Your quality profile, we are going to select the ones you want. As mentioned, we changed the HD one to go maximum 1080p, so if it's 720 it'll download it. If a week later a better quality happens, it will download that as well. So you select your profile and select add movie. Once you click add movie, it's going to automatically search for the missing movie, but we're not going to do this now. If you're following along with me, don't do this now as well, just wait until we install Prowlarr as well. So this is not necessary, but if you want to import your library so you can see it all in Radarr, you can click library import, click the movies path. It'll automatically add the movies and it'll link it up. If it's wrong, you can select it and it'll correct it. If you already have the version you like, you don't need to monitor it, so you select none. If you select the movie in collection, it will download anything else for that collection. So Die Hard will download all the other Die Hards, or if we're monitoring the movie, it will download a better quality movie if you already have it. So I'm just going to select none because I'm happy with what I have. Once you're done, just click import to movies. And there we go. All movies in movies have been imported. So if you click your movies folder, so once you refresh the page, you'll see the images here. These are unmonitored, as you can see here. That grey bar is where you'll see the status. So if it's downloaded, if it's missing and you're not looking for it, or if it's unreleased. You can search for movies that haven't came out yet, add it to the list. Once it's ready, it'll automatically get it. And that's Radarr up and running. Now your movie collection isn't just organized, it's automated. At this point, you've got qBittorrent handling downloads and Radarr telling it what to download and when. But there's still one piece missing. How does Radarr actually find those movies? That's where Prowlarr comes in. In the next video, we're setting up Prowlarr, which acts as the brains behind the indexes. It connects everything together and makes searching for content fast, reliable, and completely hands-off. Before we wrap up, just a quick disclaimer. Make sure you're only downloading content that you legally own or have the rights to access. This setup is designed for automation and convenience, but how you use it is your responsibility. If you're following along, make sure you're subscribed to Systems from Scratch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.